which Peter Hammill did survive then? Which part?
First of all, the father. I think that's, you know, apart from anything else, the family thing and my daughters, in a way, as a human being, my job is done already because my daughters are adults. And that's, in terms of a human passage across this planet, that's a job done. And the thing of parenthood is just to get your children, whatever happens to them in the future, apart from the fact that I hope they outlive me, that bit's done. As for me personally, I think the one who still wants to carry on finding out about things, to be honest, happily.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm I'm at the age where I don't know how I appear to anybody else either, but I don't think I'm complacent yet, and I'm certainly trying to find different things to do, which must have been something that came within 2 or 3 years of starting to do this. When I started, you know, at 18 or 19, you know, it was just the usual thing of wanting to make a racket and be on stage and all of that. But there was something that I found really interesting in music and songs that entered into the equation sometime during that first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
In that, you know, when I started, I didn't imagine for a moment that I'd still be doing this. I didn't imagine that it could possibly be longer than 4 or 5 years that I'd be doing this. And that afterwards, you know, I wouldn't be interested, the music business wouldn't be interested, there would be nothing interesting in it for me. So
it's curiosity.
It's curiosity, yeah. It's curiosity that's kept me going, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, and still.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you look back, can you say that there was one most creative period or interesting period for you?
The most intense period of stuff coming out was 74, between 74 and 75, 76, 77, because in that period we decided to reform Van der Graaf. Immediately before reforming Van der Graaf, I did the solo album Nadier's Big Chance, and then we did 3 Van der Graaf albums, and I did a solo album, and I broke up with my girlfriend spectacularly and publicly in terms of writing about it.
Oh, really?
So we did 5 albums, written and recorded in the space of 3 years, which
that's a lot.
And it's a lot, and they're
and quite influential albums. Johnny Rotten
exactly,
said he really liked.
Yeah. So obviously that was, you know, and that maybe was the. You know, I was a young man. I just couldn't possibly have done that. I couldn't possibly do that these days, but B, I couldn't possibly be as obviously self-obsessed as I had to be. In order, you know, you can't write 5 albums worth of material in 3 years without being completely self-obsessed.
Yeah. So, well, in which way were you so self-obsessed then?
Just that the life I was living was all consuming, you know, and it was the biggest period of, you know, just drive onwards. Yeah. You know, I would have been 26, 27, so, you know, it was an interesting time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, you know, but not necessarily the interesting time. You know, I definitely do not hanker back to want to be in that state all the time. You know, it's, you know, a big creative surge is not an easy thing to live with, either for yourself or for the people around you. Yeah. Sometimes smaller and slower thing, but especially when you're of a certain age. You know, now. Bit more calm, bit more looking at that rosebud and going, I'm glad I can see that, it's good.
Some people in their most creative period, like Brian Wilson, when he wrote Smile, he went nuts. So
yeah, exactly so. There is that danger if you're really driving at it. And again, you know, self-obsession. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.